Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha. Uttaram yat samudrasya himadreschaiva dakshinam varsham tad bharatam nama bharati yatra santatihi. Welcome to all for this session on Skanda Purana to chapter 27 under the Kedar Khanda of Maheshwara Khanda. And in the previous chapters, we have seen the marriage of Girija and Shiva and all the celebration that went around with that. And once that marriage is being over, the following aspects of Mahesha and Girija entering into a house in the Gandhamadana Parvata that is going on. Lomasha, the Suta, continued the story. Similarly, all the mountains were exquisitely worshipped by Vishnu from the side of the bridegroom, namely the mountains Sakhya, Vindhya, Mainaka, Gandhamadana, Malyavan, Malaya, Mahendra, Mandara, and Meru. These were very scrupulously honored and respected by Vishnu. Shvetagiri has made white. Niladri, the blue mountain, also was made so blue. Udayadri, Shringa, and great Astachala, Manasadri, mountain Kailasha, the most excellent one among mountains, and the mountain Loka. All these were honored by Parameshti, God Brahma. Thus, all those excellent mountains were honored by them. Similarly, all the residents of those mountains were also honored by them. Along with Brahma, everything relevant and befitting to the occasion was done by Vishnu. On the next day, the procession of Varayatra was taken out. A majority of Ganas and all the groups of Suras went to the mountain Gandhamadana along with Himadri and kinsmen. All the Pramathas, the Ganas of Chandi, and many others who had come to Himalaya for the marriage celebration of Shiva were duly honored by Shiva. O Brahmanas, on seeing the couple, they attained great delight. Shambhu, accompanied by Parvati, and Parvati, along with Shambhu, were in fact like a flower, and its fragrance are like the word and its connotation. They are Prakriti and Purusha united into one form. That couple of great luster shone very well while riding on an elephant. Brahma was then seated in an aerial chariot. Vishnu was on his Garuda. Indra rode on Airavata. Kubera sat in his Puspaka chariot. Varuna rode on his shark crocodile. Yama on his buffalo. Nirarata rode on a ghost. The great fire god was seated on a goat. Pavana, the wind god, rode on a deer, and Isha on a bull. Thus, the guardians of the quarters came to the procession of the supreme god Shiva along with planets. Similarly, Pramathas and others came there along with their armies. The mountains like Himadri, the great mountain Rishabha, Gandhamadana, Sakhya, Nilagiri, Mandara, Malayachala, Kailasa of great splendor, and Mainaka of great luster, these and other mountains became engaged in honoring Shiva. All of them were glorious, highly refulgent, and charming. All of them came there along with their wives and sons. All those mountains, beginning with Meru, were powerful and handsome. In the context of Varayatra, the procession of bridegroom, they devoted themselves to the worship of Shiva. The mountains, beginning with Meru, were seated in their proper places by Nandi there. The celebration of Varayatra was duly carried out by Himadri as mentioned before. They returned along with all kinsmen. Himavan of great renown, stationed in his own abode, shone very well due to the great splendor arising from the contact with Shiva. The great mountain became famous and well renowned in the three worlds because Shankara was delighted with him due to the offering of the daughter. Blessed indeed are those noble souled ones at the tip of whose tongues the two syllabled name Shiva is always present. They shall accomplish their purpose and be contented. Those people who utter the two syllabled name Shiva in their hearts are undoubtedly Rudras in the form of human beings. Lord Shiva is pleased with the slightest offering of gift, even with a leaf. Mahadeva is always pleased even with the gift of water. Indeed, Sadashiva being pleased with the gift of a leaf, flower or water, hence Shiva should be regularly adored by all. He is the donor of good luck unto the men here. Unborn great Lord is one great luminous refulgence. He is greater than the greatest. He is the great Atma. He has no interspace, is devoid of aberrations, has no Lord above him, is devoid of all hindrances, free from doubts and devoid of desire. He is unsullied, is of eternal form, obstacleless as he is. He has perpetual bliss. He is the eternally liberated one, and the Lord of Devas of this nature was adored by those Devas and others. Bhava or Shiva, worthy of being worshipped by the whole universe, was eulogized and meditated upon. He was worshipped and contemplated upon. This omniscient Lord is the perpetual bestower of everything. Himavan was already very famous on account of all of his good qualities. He was noble souled and the most excellent one among the mountains. After the marriage, he became one worthy of being saluted by the Lord of the universe. Going back to his own abode along with Mena, the Lord of mountains of virtuous soul bade farewell to all the mountains. After they had gone, Himavan, the most excellent one among the king of mountains, lived happily with his sons, grandsons, great grandsons by the favor of Mahadeva. Then at Gandhamadana, the great god Shiva, who had resumed his own form, decided in his mind to indulge in sexual dalliance with Girija in an isolated place. Indeed, their mutual sexual contact took place through their great penance. Now that their sexual intercourse was begun, that alone became their present penance. It was a mysterious, wonderful phenomenon not liked by Devas because it could be compared to the pralaya, ultimate annihilation. As that great sexual dalliance went on, Devas, beginning with Brahma, were not very happy in the matter of deciding what should be done and what should not be done. On account of the semen virile of Shiva, the entire universe consisting of mobile and immobile beings perished. Brahma and Vishnu, the bestower of spiritual welfare, remembered Agni mentally. On being remembered, Agni hastened towards them. On being deputed by them, Agni saw the beautiful palace of Shiva. In front of him, he saw Nandi of great luster stationed at entrance. Agni, whose color resembled saffron, became minute in size and entered the inner apartments of Shambhu that consisted of many wonderful features. After reaching the front yard, beautified with many mansions and paved with gems and jewels, the fire god sat there and said, O mother, from the harem give alms unto me, who have only hands as begging bowl. On hearing those words of Agni, who had only the hands as the begging bowl, the girl began to give him alms. Thereupon Shiva desisted from sexual dalliance and got up. He became very furious. Rising his trident, Rudra assumed the terrible form of Bhairava. Shiva was prevented by Girija from killing Agni. The girl Parvati gave alms to Agni, Jatavedas, one who knows all created beings. After taking the alms, the semen of Shiva in the palm of his hand, it was eaten up by Agni in her very presence. Girija became furious and she cursed him. O Medicant, on account of my curse, you will quickly become Sarva Bhaksha, omnivorous, one who eats everything. You will meet with distress and pain in every aspect on account of this Rethas, the semen viral immediately. On being told thus, Agni, the bearer of Havya's offering of the sacred fire, swallowed the Rethas of Isha and came to the place where all the Devas, beginning with Brahma, were staying. After arrival, he told them everything about the swallowing of Rethas, the semen of Shiva, and other incidents. All the groups of Devas, beginning with Indra, became pregnant just as Havis, that is the ghee offering, just as Havis reaches every god through Agni, so also because during the Homa, it is through Agni the Havis is sent to all the gods. So here Agni has brought the semen of Shiva. So also the semen reached all the gods. By means of the semen issuing out of the mouth of Agni, all the leading suras became pregnant. They were extremely afflicted with anxiety. They sought refuge in Vishnu, the Lord and the Master of Devas. Devas said, you are the savior of all Devas, you are the Lord of the world, hence protection should be accorded. O Lord, kind and compassionate towards those who seek refuge, afflicted with this semen virile, all of us are about to die. All of us, the heaven dwellers, are already frightened of Asuras. We are afraid of Asuras. We sought refuge in Shankara. We got his marriage celebrated and thought thus when a son is born to Rudra, all of us will be happy and free from fear of heaven. A new danger has beset us even as we are studying ourselves with that thought. How is it possible to remain alive with this Shiva's seven? The three arms in the three aims in the life of ordinary person are well prepared with the help of fate, but without favorable fate or without the support of Lord, it becomes adverse in character, not otherwise. Hence, considering that as the strength and support for all embodied beings in the matter of deciding what should be done and what should not be done, all of us think so. On hearing that lamentation of Devas, the great Lord, the slayer of the enemies of Devas, spoke these words laughingly. In view of the gravity of situation, that means the work, let Mahesha, the great god, be eulogized. Saying, so be it, all the Devas went to Hara with Vishnu as their leader. Brahma and others and all sages eulogized Hara. Om obeisance unto Lord Bharga, refulgence to the blue throated, to the beautiful, to the three eyed God, to the Lord of the three Vedas, to the supporter of the three worlds. We bow to the Lord of three notes, Swara, three matras, three Vedas, three forms. Hail to the trident bearing Lord, bestower of the three aims of life, the three dharma having three abodes, and to the three pada having three positions. Save us, O Mahadeva, from this semen virile, O Lord of the universe. When he was thus eulogized by Brahma, the bull bannered Lord appeared there itself for the sake of the accomplishment of the objective of Suras. At that time, the Lord, the sole kinsman of the universe, was seen by the noble souled, excellent Devas. He was worshipped exquisitely well. He was eulogized with various words of expressive nature and approved by the Vedas. Even as the Devas continued eulogizing, Parameshwara said, "Do not be frightened, all of you now afflicted with the semen viral. Now itself, O Suras, you all should vomit it." Thinking that it should be so, all those groups of Devas, beginning with Indra, O Brahmanas, vomited that semen virile of Shankara. Abruptly, that miraculous semen virile became as lustrous as heated gold and as huge as mountain. All those groups of devas, beginning with Indra, became happy, excepting Agni. All of them became exceedingly delighted. Shankara, the benefactor of all the worlds, was addressed thus by Agni: O Mahadeva, O most excellent one among devas, what should be done by me now? Tell me that now, O Lord, whereby I shall always be happy, so that I can continue to carry Havya, the oblations and sacrifices to the devas. Then Shiva said directly, even as devas were listening, "Let the semen be discharged in some womb." Thereupon Agni laughingly said to Lord Shankara, "Your semen is unbearable. How can this semen, which blazes like poison, be borne by ordinary persons?" When Lord Mahadeva said to Agni, "Let the semen be discharged every month in the body of those who are wound up in the menstruation period," saying, "So be it," and accepting his words, the fire god of great luster, who was shining with great splendor, and whose power and influence is very great, sat there in Brahma Muhurta before the dawn. The wives of the sages got up very early in the morning. Those chaste ladies who habitually took early morning baths were afflicted with chillness. They saw the blazing fire and wanted to warm themselves. They were prevented from doing so by Arundhati, wife of Vasishtha. Although they too were prevented from doing so, the Krithikas warmed themselves. While they warmed themselves, thus minute particles of semen virile entered their pores in their skin at the root of the hairs quickly. Agni then got rid of the semen virile and became reposed and tranquil. Then the wives of the sages went to their respective abodes. They were cursed by the sages. They become the constellation of Krithikas moving about in the sky. At that time, all of them became distressed due to their deviation from chastity. They discharged the semen virile on top of the mountain Himavan. Abruptly, that semen viral, having the luster of heated gold, floated in Ganga. It was quickly encircled by Ki- Kikakas, that means the hollow bamboos, and seeing that is basically also called a Sharavana grass. On seeing the infant with six faces, all the devas became joyous. They were ultimately told by Garga, let the child be conveniently taken away. This son of Shambhu, thanks to the graces of Shambhu, shall become eternal and Sharva, identical with all. Karthikeya of great strength was born on the bank of Ganga. Karthikeya, the son of Ganga, sat up after a day and a night had passed. Shakha and Vishakha were exceedingly powerful. This son Shanmukha was very powerful. When Shanmuka, the six-faced god Skanda, was born of Ganga as the son of Shankara, Girija immediate, I mean, as the son of Shankara, Girija immediately experienced that milk was oozing out from her nipples. Looking at Shiva, she said, "O Shambhu, there is a great exudation of milk from my breast. Why is it so? O Mahadeva, let it be looked into." Though omniscient, Mahadeva spoke to her like an ignorant one. Narada came there and told them about the birth of the child. O beautiful son is born to Shiva and Shiva means the Parvati and Parameshwara. On hearing those words, O Brahmanas, all the Pramathas became most delighted in their mind. Gandharvas became eager to sing. In view of the birth of the son to the noble souled Shankara, the mountain Kailasa became dazzlingly brilliant and shone with many flags, banners, festoons, and sprouts, as well as with aerial chariots. When all the groups of suras, sages, siddhas, charanas, demons, Gandharvas, Yakshas, all attended upon by groups of celestial damsels, all these gathered together immediately and along with Shankara, they proceeded ahead to see Gangeya, that means the Skanda, the Ganga's son, stationed on the sand bank of Ganga. When the Lord mounted on his bull along with Girija and was accompanied by other suras, beginning with Indra, when conches, berries, and many other musical instruments were played, at the very same time the Ganas, beginning with Virabhadra, followed the Lord of all. They were excited with sportive spirit and they played different kinds of musical instruments. They played stringed musical instruments of different kinds. Some were engaged in dances, others were musicians. Those who eulogized and those who were being eulogized sang songs of praise. Those suras, siddhas, yakshas, gandharvas, vidyadharas, serpents, and such other were delighted in their minds in the company of Shiva. They went ahead in order to see the son of Shankara, the bestower of boons. When they looked at Gangeya resembling Shankara, they saw that the three worlds were pervaded by his great splendor. The infant boy, enveloped in refulgence, was of the luster of heated gold. His bright face was endowed with glorious magnificence. His beautiful face, with fine nose and eyes twinkling with smile, was pleasant. He was beautiful in every limb. On seeing the exceedingly miraculous Gangeya of renowned Atman, infant boy with solar radiance, Pramathas, and all the Ganas, beginning with Virabhadra, saluted him. They flocked around him on the left and the right and waited upon him. Similarly, Brahma, Indra, surrounded by Suras, sages, Yakshas, and Gandharvas, surrounded the boy. They prostrated on the ground like a log of wood. Some bent down their necks in reverence, others bowed down their heads, honoring him as the immutable Lord. In that way, great festival, different kinds of musical instruments were played. The sages recited the Shanti verses of that festival. In the meantime, Shankara, the Lord of Girija, reached the place. He quickly dismounted from his bull along with Parvati. O sages of holy rites, accompanied by Bhavani and filled with great pleasure, the Lord of soul, kinsman of the universe, saw his son. With great affection, the Lord of all, having the bodies of serpents as ornaments, became delighted. He was surrounded by Pramathas. With great excitement, Parvati embraced Guha. Flooded with great love, she made him suck suck her breast that exuded the milk. When the infant Lord was given great ovation and the Nirajana, the waving of lights, this rite was performed by Devas who rejoiced in the company of their wives. The whole of the firmament was pervaded by great shouts of victory. All of them served the infant Lord, the sages with the loud chants of Vedic passages, the musicians with songs, and those who played musical instruments with the same. Girija or Shiva took on his lap that infant Lord dazzling with great brilliance. The spouse of Bhavani shone as the most excellent one among those blessed with sons. He was endowed with glory. The couple were delighted together on being sprinkled with sacred waters by the sages, being surrounded by excellent suras. Kumara, the infant lord, played in the lap of Shankara. With both hands he caught hold of and pressed Vasuki that was around the neck of Shiva. After pressing his face, he counted his heads, not in a correct order, saying 1, 3, 10, 8. Lord Shambhu told Girija about this laughingly. Due to the gentle smile of the infant, Lord Mahesha, in the company of Girija, attained the greatest joy. On account of the affection, his speech faltered. The sole Lord of the worlds, the sole kinsman of universe, did not say anything. Thus ended chapter 27 in 27 of the Kedar Khanda in Maheshwara Khanda of Skanda Purana. And in this part, Shiva, we saw the glory of the birth of Kumara Swami, who had many mothers, many fathers, and he took a long route to the birth of the great god Kumara Swami, who would in future slay Taraka and become the commander in chief of the divine army. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puravasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Bye.